Okay.
It's for an internet blog I'm working on. I was wondering if it's okay to do it.
Doing what?
Just reading.
Oh, just reading?
Yeah.
Oh.
I have a, like, if you have a book that you have right now.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Textbook or just?
It's just whatever book.
I guess.
And let me know, or I guess let the camera know what book you're reading and what page it's on. And
Yeah.
you don't have to read very long. You can read like a paragraph.
Like read out loud or?
Oh yeah, read out loud.
What class is this for?
This is for a podcasting class. I can give you the address of the website afterward.
Let's find out what's we have Kurt Vonnegut, Welcome to the Monkey House, and it's a collection of short stories.
What page are you reading?
Oh, part of the short story is called Report on the Barnhouse Battle, and it's page 184.
Alright, let me know when you're ready to go.
Professor Barnhouse closed his eyes, pursed his lips, and stroked his temples. He held the position for a minute. The television images were scrambled, and the radio signals were drowned in the din of the Barnhouse static. The professor sighed, opened his eyes, and smiled confidently. "Did you give it everything you had?" asked the general dubiously. "I was wide open," the professor replied. Television images pulled themselves together, and mingled cries of amazement came over the radios, turned to the observers. The Aleutian sky was streaked with the smoke trails of bombers screaming down in flames. Simultaneously there appeared, high over the rocket target, a cluster of white puffs followed by faint thunder. General Barker shook his head happily. "By George," he crowed. "Well, sir, by George, by George, by George." "Look," shouted the admiral seated next to me. "The fleet, it wasn't touched. The guns seemed to be drooping," said Mr. Hunthrop. We left the bench and clustered about the television set to examine the damage more closely. What Mr. Control had said was true. The ship's guns curved downward, and their muzzles resting on the steel decks. We in Virginia were making such a hullabaloo that it was impossible to hear the radio reporters. We were so engrossed, in fact, that we didn't miss the professor until two short snarls of Barnhouse static shocked us into sudden silence. The radios were dead. We looked around apprehensively. The professor was gone. A harassed guard threw open the front door from the outside to yell that the professor had escaped. He brandished his pistol in the direction of the gates, which hung open, limp and twisted. In the distance, a speeding government station wagon topped the bridge and dropped from sight into the valley beyond. The air was filled with choking smoke, for every vehicle on the ground was ablaze. Pursuit was impossible. "What in God's name got into him?" bellowed the general. Mr. Contra, who had rushed out onto the front porch, now slouched back in the room, reading a penciled note as he came. He thrust the note into my hands. "The good man left the billet under the door knocker. Perhaps our young friend here will be kind enough to read it to the gentleman while I take a restful walk through the woods." "Gentlemen," I read aloud, "as the first super weapon of the conscience, I am removing myself from the national defense stockpile, setting a new precedent of the behavior of ordnance as the main reasons for going off. A. Barnhouse."
Yeah, that was good, thank you.